What a treat it is whenever a big game actually delivers in football. You absolutely do love to see it. Arsenal 2, Spurs 1. I'm StattoJoe. You're a legend for watching this video. And if you're new to the channel, why not hit that cheeky wee subscribe button underneath this video? It would really help me out. We are marching to 100 subs. And if you want to help me out and get there, I'd really appreciate it. But let's have a chat about this game between Arsenal and Spurs because it was a game that actually delivered on the drama, the hype. Maybe the first 20 minutes, not so much, but after that, the game really kicked off. But I need to get a bit of a rant out of the way first because I'm watching that game as a neutral. I don't support Arsenal. I don't support Spurs. I have no allegiances to either side. And I watch Spurs and I think, you're so much better than this. Just sitting back, allowing pressure. You know, the first thing you need to look at straight away is look at the dominance of Arsenal. Look at the dominance of Arsenal in this game. The height of the peaks indicates the dominance. Spurs had these brief spells here and here where the end was only because they had to. But it's like this Spurs team are good enough they can go out and take the game to teams. They can go out and they've got the firepower where they can, and when they attack, they look threatening. You see in those last 10 minutes, they were threatening. And if they just did that all game, they'd be fine. What's interesting to me is they played with 10 men those last 10 minutes, and they played in a way which meant Arsenal never really looked like scoring. Yes, they were more vulnerable at the back, but they didn't look like scoring. But whenever they sit back and invite that pressure onto them, of course they're going to look like they're going to get chances because you're allowing them to come and play to you. It's so pointless. It actually does my head in, and it's like for me, Mourinho's done. He's past it. He's past that top level of football now for me, and the only way that he redeems himself is if they win the League Cup because they're not going to win anything else. There's no way. Not good enough. Far too negative. And Arsenal win the game because they were a bit more positive. Took the game to Spurs. They weren't necessarily always the better team, but at least they had more chances and they gave the game a go. And for me, that just signifies the problems at Spurs this season, and it is so frustrating. It really does my head in. But let's just have a look at some of the stats. We'll go half by half because you can kind of see then a general picture and sort of understand where Spurs are with this attacking, where they are. Because you can see they're not there. Not until they need to be. First half, Arsenal edge possession, so 57 to 43. So a bit more of the ball, but not a significant amount. But this is where I just find the difference massive. Arsenal have 10 shots on goal. Spurs have one, and that one shot was their goal, which, by the way, was an absolute screamer. Let's just talk about that for a second. The audacity of Lamela to hit a RABONA. Unbelievable. I it's just and he's done it before. That's the thing. He's done it before. Absolute madman. What a player. What a goal. Well, I say what a player. Not what a player. He's not that good. He's not that consistent. He's not that good. But what a goal. Fair play. You love to see it. I'm sure that you'll be watching that for many years. When they go Arsenal versus Spurs of the ages, that goal will be shown over and over again. Fair play to the guy. You do love to see it. Nice. And Arsenal themselves only had one shot on target, which was also, I wonder would that count as their goal? I suppose it was their goal because it went in, but it was a deflection. But if it was given as the goal, yeah, so it was given to Odegaard. So Arsenal had one shot on target, that was also their goal. But even with the shots on target, at least they're getting shots away. Spurs won't. And it's so frustrating. I don't know why I'm getting so frustrated, but it's so frustrating. And we had hints of maybe a bit more spice in this game. An early yellow card in the game. In the first half, regularly on went just boom, dove in. You love to see it. And with passes, 91% passing accuracy, you do know that anything greater than 85 makes my day. 82% from Spurs, in my opinion, not good enough. Needs to be better. They need to improve and work on that. But overall, it was a bit of a bland start, but then it kicked off towards the end, so that was decent. And then if we look at the second half, Spurs actually had very slightly more, and they had more shots. Now, all these shots came in like the last 10 minutes whenever they had to go for the game. And that's what's frustrating. They're capable of this. They're capable of the 5 shots. They're capable of playing well. It's just annoying whenever they don't. um, Arsenal made 3 shots. Obviously, had the penalty, and we'll talk about that separately in a minute. But Spurs obviously had that disallowed goal, which was a fantastic header from Harry Kane, but he was offside by a good bit. And and then he had that free kick that hit the post. But most of the Spurs chances were in the last 10 minutes of the game, and I don't understand how that's not frustrating. Like I'm getting annoyed, and I don't even really. I'm not a fan of either team, so like if you are a fan, is it not so frustrating? Uh, and passes 82 from both, not great, but there was plenty of spice in this one. Spurs getting yellow cards, Lamela getting sent off, kind of stupid from him. You put your arm up now in anyone's face, it is a yellow card. So it doesn't matter if you mean it or not. And this goes back to that debate weeks ago about the penalty for Everton against Liverpool. It does not matter if you intend it or not. It's still a foul. It's still a yellow card. That's the problem. Okay. So he got sent off. And then once he got sent off, actually Spurs then had to go for it. They went out into the game and they did give it a good go in the end. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough. The penalty for me, definitely a penalty, but it's not as clumsy as it looks because there are scenarios where he could have blocked the ball there or had the shot been on target. I don't know if that would have been a penalty, but in my opinion, that's definitely a penalty. And great penalty from Lacazette to put that away. And Arsenal win 2-1. And I believe that's Arteta's first North London derby win. And had he not won this game, he would have been the first manager to have lost their first 3 London derbies, so North London derbies. So fair play to Arsenal. They got the win, 2-1. And what does that mean for the league table? Well, Spurs stay in 7th on 45 points, which I think that's good for West Ham. If West Ham get any sort of result from tonight's game, then that's going to get them a bit further away from the challenger. So good for Liverpool too. There was only 2 points between them with the same number of games. Arsenal themselves now really have put themselves in the mix for a Europa League spot, which you wouldn't have said at the start of the season. But they're winning games. They're getting better. Who knows what we'll see. Overall, rest of today, Brighton got a massive win against Southampton, which put them up onto 29 points and a bit further away from the relegation zone. And Leicester absolutely hammered Sheffield United 5-0. Sheffield United definitely going down, in my opinion. There's no way they're going to make up those 14 points in the next 9 games. And Leicester further established their place in the top 4. So there are my thoughts from today's game. I would love to hear your opinion. Reply to my comment or comment yourself down below. Let me know what you thought if you watched the game, or if there's any other sporting things in general, comment those down below. Let me know your thoughts this weekend. I'll reply to you, say hi. And they're just my thoughts from today's game. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're new, why not hit the subscribe button? And if you want to follow my social medias, in the description, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, hit the links, give a like or a follow. I'd really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on the channel.